Yeah, and Barb, let me play for you Frank Figluzzi, friend of the show. He was on Deadline White House talking about Rudy's situation and about the people that he's associated with, most particularly Lev Parnas and Igor Fruman, the men who at some point it appeared that Giuliani was working with and in maybe working for. He appears to have been paid, at least by Mr. Parnas and his company, which is called Fraud Guarantee. Can't make this up. Here is Frank this week.
They're going to try to flip these two associates of Rudy, and they're going to motivate them strongly to talk and start pointing upward at others.
And so the question here is, if these two guys, to save themselves, flip on Giuliani, leaving Giuliani exposed as the person everyone seems to be pointing to and saying it was this guy's idea, Giuliani has nowhere to go other than up, and that would be Donald Trump, no?
I agree with you, Joy. I think, there had been some speculation early on that Trump was going to throw Giuliani under the bus, but we may get to the point where it's Giuliani throwing Trump under the bus. That's the way prosecutors work. They work their way up the chain of criminal organizations. And so I think one other tell that occurred this week is that the government in the Southern District of New York agreed to bond for these two men, $1 million bond, which struck me as a strange outcome. Ordinarily, they would be aggressively seeking detention for these two men. They have ties to foreign countries. They are a substantial risk of flight. They were trying to flee at the time that they were arrested to avoid testifying before Congress. The fact that the Southern District of New York agreed to a bond suggests to me that they're already having conversations with their lawyers about cooperation. They may not have inked a deal just yet, but that clearly is the strategy that the Southern District of New York wants to pursue. And why do you want to pursue their cooperation? To get to Rudy. And then at that point, Rudy Giuliani's been down this road many, many times himself. He knows how the game is played. If he wants to get lenience for himself, the way to do that is to provide information of value about someone higher in the criminal organization than you. And there's only one person that's higher than him.
And there you go. And, and I think about